Hello and welcome once again to the Decorate Your Home channel. As many of you know, we are fixing up this area of the terrace and especially the walls behind me. They're in pretty bad shape because they have dampness from leaks. Not long ago, I made a video for you about the types of dampness there are, and I explained that in this terrace we have dampness from leaks on almost all the walls. So let's start by fixing these, and that way I can explain the step-by-step to you. Let's get started. First, cover the entire floor to avoid getting it dirty and having to clean it later. I've already done this step. If you look closely, the wall has a lot of mold and also has cracks everywhere, which lets water seep in and causes the material to come off. I've laid out the steps we're going to follow here, and now I'll explain them in more detail. But roughly speaking, we're going to clean the surface very well with bleach, then we'll apply this product which is for treating surfaces, and finally, we'll apply the Aguaplast. Easy job by Bézier. Once we've done all this, we'll paint it with a special paint for damp areas. As I was saying, we're going to dilute a little bit of bleach in water, and with a stiff bristled brush, we're going to scrub all the mold until it's completely gone. I've put it in this basin because that way it's easier to apply and scrub. I've put on gloves, but I'm also going to put on these goggles just in case any bleach splashes on my face. If you notice that there are some bits of paint that come off just by brushing it, so I'm going to remove them and then we'll apply the anti-mold product. It's not necessary to remove the paint, but in this case we have to do it basically because the material is coming off. It's not well adhered, in that case you do need to remove it, but if it's well adhered, it's not necessary. We would simply apply the Fungistop and then apply our special mortar for dampness. My grandmother is telling me that this was the first wall built in the whole house and on the whole property, because they made this to store the tools and that way they could build their house. This crack right here has allowed water to seep in, and this part, just by chipping it a little, has come down. So just imagine we're going to fix all of this. And I'm going to show you why I'm removing this wall, because you can clearly see here, if you look closely, there's a gap between the brick and the plaster. This gap means the material is coming loose. So when there isn't a gap anymore, for example over here where it's already joined, I don't remove it. But here where there's this gap, at any moment it could come loose, so I remove it before it falls off and we put on the new material. And yeah, is this wrong? Huh?
Well, yes, it is wrong. This is older than...
Well, now we finally have the whole wall fixed. The truth is that this lower part was in terrible shape. The top is pretty good, but the bottom is really, really bad. Now let's move on to the next step. I'm going to apply Fungistop now, which is also from Bézier. And this treatment is a disinfectant for surfaces affected by mold and fungi. It can be applied to various materials, including plastic paints, enamels, plasters, and gypsum. And if the surface is very contaminated, you should apply a first coat and then a second one, waiting 3 hours between each coat. In this area, I've removed the mold twice, but it ended up returning. These things happen. The important thing is that it's really clean before applying the Waterplast. I'm going to apply it with a roller, but we could also do it with a brush. Truth is, I recently used it on my house floor and it worked great, so I believe it'll be perfect for this wall. I'm going to put on the mask, the gloves, and the glasses. Before applying the filler to the whole wall, I'm going to cover this hole with another mortar, since the filler would be for 15 millimeters. First, I pour water at the base to make it easier to mix. We wet the wall a little bit. There are also a couple of pretty deep holes here, so I'm going to put some mortar in them too. And now, while we let the mortar dry, we're going to continue with the Aguaplast down here. It can be applied on damp surfaces, is vapor permeable, and resistant to seawater and marine environments. It's suitable for both indoor and outdoor use, and it can be applied up to 15 millimeters thick. Here it specifies that first you need to clean the surface and then add 1 kilogram of powder to 0.4 liters of water. I measure the liters using a standard measure. I pour in the exact amount needed since I already know how much fits. I pour in half since that makes 7.5 kilos, and that way I know how much water I need to add. Okay, now we've got it, let's start applying it. My dad just arrived, so he's going to give me a hand with the wall and together we'll finish it. Well, we've already applied the coat of Aguaplast. Now what we're going to do is swirl with a sponge, we'll dampen it in water and start making circles. Good morning. Well, this is already completely dry. Now we'll apply a second coat to prepare for painting. We're going to wet it a little, like we did the other day. And now we have the second coat. So now we're going to wait for it to dry and then we'll use the sponge. Look at how Thor is. They've cut his hair. Thor. With his haircut, he resembles a different small dog. Let's go with the cushion. Let's go. Very good. Well, we've already eaten. We've already let the wall dry a little. So now we're going to use the sponge. Good morning. The wall is now completely dry from the second coat we applied. I'm going to start by painting the entire lower part with a brush to try to make a completely straight line, and from there I'll start with the roller. Because if not, since the masking tape doesn't stick, it will keep moving and you won't get a straight line. Even though later this floor will have to be painted and will cover up whatever got stained, we still want it to look as good as possible. What do you think? How does the wall look?
Very beautiful, very white. It's so dazzling that it shines. It's just that white. It turned out really nice.
The wall no longer looks like the oldest in the house, right?
No, now it looks modern, but it's very white. It turned out really pretty. It's a nice white color and looks great.
Now we can even use this little bench and everything?
Yes, now standing is forbidden because before there were some people who would stand on it, but now it's not allowed. No, it turned out really well. It turned out really well.
But it was worth the effort, wasn't it?
Yes, you can be proud that you did a really good job and it turned out really well. Congrats, beautiful. Now for the rest of the terrace. Aren't we going to continue? Yes, it isn't finished yet, but there's still days left.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please like it. See you in upcoming videos soon. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our social media so you don't miss out on the day-to-day of all our transformations.